Ooh, yeah. We are live tonight. UFC at the White House. 8 title fights? Is that possible? Volkanovski keeps on winning, and UFC back at the Apex.
Let's go!
What?
What? What? What do you mean what? Are you just saying what?
Yeah,
Are
I
you
was
just saying
checking
what?
something. Saying what, man?
Just
What's
saying.
up with that shirt? Brian
What shirt?
Daniels.
Brian Danielson.
Brian Danielson. Danielson. Wow, look at that. Look at the physique of this guy. Look at this Adonis. He's got the Johnny North body. Look at him. What the?
I'm doing
Steroids.
all right.
Hey, you taking some of those Russian pills, Dave?
I wish.
Just asking.
I
Little
wish.
injection here between the toes.
Oh. I
No one
went to
can see it.
jiu-jitsu last night. I'm hurting today. Actually, I'm feeling all right. But
Good for you, bud.
Oh,
For you, man. Oh no!
Oh,
What the
my
heck? You have an
goodness.
unsatisfied customer on
upset
ringside.
invasion. Okay.
Jesus!
Okay.
What happened?
You
You want to do a
it?
little singing there?
All right. All right.
Oh,
Get out of here.
you don't find that on every like MMA show. A little cute kid that comes and cries and just
Crazy.
barges in and says, "I want to
don't know.
sing to the like."
She stole my phone.
What's that song? What was that group again that was
She's just-
singing before?
she's just,
Demon. What are they called? K-pop?
Some sort of K-pop, the Demon Hunters. She loves it. And for some reason, she's refusing her mom's phone or her brother's phone even. There's iPhones everywhere. She wants mine. So I got the newest one. So maybe that's why. Anyways.
Yeah, Johnny, don't worry, bud. You got
There goes
more
my
of
phone.
you got more of the rip there. I had to just make Dave feel good
John's
there.
way bigger than me. Are you kidding?
John's a beast, man.
Yeah, John's
That's
a
a whole
monster. I'm
different
nowhere
level.
near Johnny North physique. That was a nice
Johnny's like-
compliment. Why
But
is
Johnny's
he saying
more
like,
like-
"Oh, easy there"? I think Johnny North is like talking.
He doesn't want to be compared.
like,
Johnny wants to be
wait a
unique.
second.
Man. Wait.
Take
Don't
it easy,
fool
John.
around, man.
I didn't say it. AJ said it, and now he's being like mean to me. So rude.
My kid
John
loves
is all
Johnny. Everything's about
bodybuilder.
Johnny North.
John's
yeah, but that's
a
the thing with Johnny.
John's
He's
a pro
superhero,
wrestler.
man. He's an action
it's,
hero.
it's all it's a work.
Real, man.
I'm
Well
a
worth it.
shooter. I'm a shooter. I do it for real. Johnny
That's
North
what she
just
said.
pretends,
Yes, spits or swallow. Sorry. Are you allowed to say that?
What? Now I'm saying what? So, AJ, last weekend we saw Alex
Wait.
Volkanovski get
Wait.
another victory. What?
Hold on that thought. Listen, I
Why?
just got 2 seconds because I got to just give one quick.
No, we'll do that
shout out,
later.
'cause
Do it later.
No, come on, let me just
No,
do
you
it
gotta
2
do it
seconds. I just need to because I got to dedicate the show to my buddy Tony Taco, who passed away today. My great buddy from high school. I love the guy. This show is for him. He used to listen to us, quite often. A big Bruins fan, so I'm going to forgive him on that. But, he hated the Hams, as he called them. But my buddy Tony Taco is with Elvis now. So rest in peace, buddy. Love
Elvis
you.
Country.
Elvis Country. My buddy Tony Taco, man. Actually, he's not too far away from like the Villamar Hood area, so he's a legend. Tony Taco, man.
Well, sorry for your loss, AJ.
It is. It's hard, man.
I thought you were going
Sorry,
into something
bud. Sorry,
else.
but I had to do it from the beginning,
Okay.
'Cause
No,
he did
no,
listen
sure.
to
I
us.
thought you were going somewhere else. I didn't know you were going there.
No,
right away.
bud.
Okay, that's
Where
fine.
did you think I was going?
I don't want to go there because then it will go there, and then it'll be a whole other thing.
I'm curious.
Yeah.
Tell me, Dave. Where's
I don't know, man. You threw me off. I'm sad for your friend,
You were talking
Tony
about-
Taco. Rest in
Yeah.
peace. Alex Volkanovski last weekend got a win. We watched it. I struggled to stay awake, and we were on YouTube Live. I was really struggling. What a struggle. It was a
I
long
think
day.
your eyes shut at one point.
Yeah, I know. I fell asleep for sure during that fight.
And think about
Which
it.
is
It
bad.
was an earlier fight.
And you know what, AJ? That's the first, and I will apologize. I'm sorry. I should have drank more coffee. I don't know. But I was falling asleep, and that's the first time in the history of the show that I've ever been that tired where it's like, oh, I'm falling asleep here. I can't keep my eyes open during a UFC fight, and usually they're on later. So I think that's a testament to the interest level that I had for that fight. Very low. I was not interested in that fight last weekend. It really didn't matter. It felt unimportant. The fights beforehand were better and more interesting. I was more interested in the Rafael Fiziev, Mauricio Hufi fight and the Benoit Saint-Denis Dan Hooker fight than I was in the main event. And even then, it was just a main event between Volkanovski and Diego Lopes that we had seen before. We saw 9 months before. It was the same result that we got. It wasn't a very eventful fight. I don't think anybody got dropped. Compare last week's fight to the week before, where you saw Justin Gaethje and Paddy Pimblett have a knockdown, drag-out fight. What we saw last weekend with Volkanovski and Diego Lopes was not that. They both came out of 25 minutes of MMA with barely a scratch on them. What kind of fight is that? Who fights for 25 minutes and isn't even hurt in any way? So it's just neither guy. It'd be fine if one guy was fine and the other guy was a bloody mess. But no. Both guys were fine because not much happened in this fight. Volk did enough to win, and good for him. Look, at his age, at his time spent and given to the sport, he doesn't need to do more. He doesn't. For Diego, I never want to see him fight for a title again. Ever. Because we've seen him go up against Volkanovski twice now. He's come up short. He's come up flat. He's come up in an hour almost of fighting Volkanovski with never really coming close to winning. So I don't want to see that fight again. I don't want to see Diego Lopes in a title fight again. And we were proven right about this fight. It was unnecessary. It just happened. We were going to get the same thing we just got, and that's what happened. I'm left after UFC 325 unexcited about
326.
Yeah, or just whatever they're doing this weekend or the next couple of months. You know?
Look, let's look at it from another perspective. I mean, the card was really good. I mean, we got finishes. People were walking away with $25,000 bonuses, but I am surprised that there wasn't a little bit more oomph in the main event.
There were two good fights on this card.
Well, you know what? I kind of like the Taliesin fight. I kind of like the Rufi fight. You know, the Benoit Saint-Denis was nice. And I got a standout kid was the Quillen kid. Quillen Sell killed. He killed that guy. Yeah. The malarkey was full of malarkey. But the thing is that it was some interesting fights, and some of the prelims were pretty good. All I'm saying is that Volkanovski fought the fight that I thought was going to happen. You know, he didn't commit. He just did what he did, in the first fight. You know, he went the distance. You know, I thought he had four rounds to one. Some people were saying it's 5-0, which I thought could be a possibility. Volkanovski fought the fight he needed to do to get that win in his hometown. It wasn't spectacular, but you know what? It wasn't bad, Dave. It wasn't a bad fight in a sense, but it wasn't the most exciting fight of the night.
Diego has to do way more in that fight. In that moment, he's got to put it all on the line. He's got to take more risks.
Yeah, I agree
He
with
had
you.
to take
I don't
more
think
risks. He didn't force the issue, and he walks away where no one is leaving the pay-per-view going, man, I can't wait to see that guy fight again.
you're right. You're
So
right.
if you're going to lose in the UFC, if you're going to lose, you better go
Lose
out
good.
exciting. Like Paddy Pimblett lost to Justin Gaethje, but I would contend that he didn't really lose much. Sure, he lost the fight. He lost a fight with Ilia, but I think he'll probably line himself up for another big fight. He's still one of the most popular guys in the UFC, and he delivered an exciting performance where people will go, man, Paddy's fights are good. So, Paddy Pimblett, despite the fact he lost to Justin Gaethje, may actually walk into an even more lucrative fight with Conor McGregor at the White House. You know who's not on the radar for Conor McGregor at the White House? Diego Lopes. Not at all. Because no one cares about this guy, no one's interested in this guy, and no one wants to see his fights. It may have been a high-level contest between two good mixed martial artists, but it's also entertainment. And sometimes in the UFC, if you really want to make money, you got to take some risks in the fight that may get you hurt, but they also may get you world championships. And if they don't get you world championships, damn it, they're going to get you some fans, which is going to translate to money, which is going to translate to the UFC giving you more opportunities and more shots at the title. Justin Gaethje was not the number one contender. He's getting a interim title fight, and he's the interim champion and now getting a title fight because he's exciting in the octagon. Because his fights are good. He got knocked out by Max Holloway like a year or two ago. Now he's interim champion on his way to a world title fight. Why? Because he's fun to watch. Being fun to watch will serve you well in the UFC. I don't know how well it'll serve your brain long term. Kind of dangerous, but you're a cage fighter. You're in a dangerous business.
Yeah.
And that's the harsh reality. And, you know, Diego can go on and fight however he wants and make the money that he wants and do what he wants. But MMA fans are not going to go, oof, can't wait to see this guy's next fight. And,
yeah, I mean,
you know,
you're
kind of
right.
same for Volkanovski. Like, I'm not super hyped about his next fight. It's probably going to be against the winner of Movsar and Lerone Murphy, which is a killer fight, which is a big-time fight now because the winner of that is getting the title shot. It's March 21st. It's UFC in London. Murphy is from England. Movsar from Russia.
Mother Russia.
And that fight is going to be massive. The winner of that should get Volkanovski at 145 for the belt. Those two are the number one contenders. In fact, when the Diego Lopes Volkanovski fight was made, people said, how come Movsar isn't getting this title shot? And if not Movsar, how come Lerone Murphy isn't getting this title shot? I guess the UFC had other plans. And the plans were for them to fight each other to determine a true number one contender, which I'm not, against. I like the idea of two guys that are rising, fighting each other to figure out who's the best. Maybe they fight in a couple years for the belt after one of them wins it. Who knows? But Movsar and Lerone is the fight. Winner of that takes on Volk. And that's going to be a tough fight for Volkanovski because that's going to be the new breed, another new generation of guys coming after you. And you've had that target on your back for many years. A lot of these guys started fighting when you were champion, Once you get into that territory, when you were the world champion, when they had their first pro fight, then you're in like a weird spot and they're always looking at you and they know everything you do. So we'll see. we'll see how that goes. Volkanovski, though, fending off the Lions again. Diego Lopes, they tried to run it back on him. Lopes had some youth on his side. Volkanovski said, no. I'm still here. 37, I don't care. I'm still here. Just like Gaethje.
And you look good.
Yeah.
You look good.
The older guys have won back-to-back weeks in the UFC in the main events.
Right.
Guys over 35, too.
40. Yeah.
Huh?
Was he 40? How old was he?
Oh, Volk is like 37, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, Volk,
Gaethje,
37.
Too. Both of them are 37.
Okay. I thought Gaethje was a little older. Either or. I mean, they're close to 40, regardless. But they didn't show it on Saturday night, or the last two Saturday nights. And you're right with the Lopes. I mean, Lopes, for a young guy, I mean, his stock went down. There's no doubt about it. To get a title shot, it's going to be, a rough, tough road. But anything's possible. We saw Chucky Olives. We always bring that back.
Yeah.
Chucky almost got released from the UFC.
Yeah. Yeah, you could definitely come back. I mean, guys can come back and become world champion. Look at, Chucky Olives or Robbie Lawler or guys like that, Glover Teixeira, you can come back.
Absolutely,
you can definitely come back. Diego Lopes can come back and become world champion one day. I mean, it's possible.
I mean, he's young.
Yeah,
but it's going to be hard. You're right. There's that new breed that's coming, And the thing is that you said something very interesting. Like, that new breed knows the champ. The new breed is able to study lots of tapes, like, up to his last fight, where the champ doesn't really know that much about the new breed coming up. Like, they don't have enough history to know what works and what doesn't work.
Yeah.
And that's what, I mean, George St. Pierre was a tactician, man. He dissected all, like, fight tapes at one point. I mean, the guy knows what to do and how to dissect like a fighter. But, Volkanovski has had an amazing run. He's an Australian champion. He's an Australian legend. He is like the name of Australia when it comes to sports. So, his fight wasn't the most exciting, but it was championship material. He's still there, and he's still holding that belt.
Yeah.
And regardless what happens in the future, Dave, the guy has had an amazing run. The Volk was so dangerous. At one point, we were like, this guy cannot be touched. We said that about Merab, and I think Merab will be back. I think Merab had a bad fight, in my opinion. But these guys are champs, man. They're going to bounce back. But, Father Time is ticking, right?
The problem with this run for Volk is that it's not like the first run. Because the first run, he was unstoppable. He was beating everybody. And he didn't lose, right? He did go up to 155 and lose twice to Islam Makhachev. But then when he went back down, he lost to Ilia Topuria and lost the featherweight championship. And that was the end of the Volk domination run at 145. Now, Topuria then moves up to 155, and Volk finds himself champion again. But just knowing all of that and remembering the Topuria fight, it just makes this Volk run seem a little less than, It's not as exciting because that he can be beat at 145. We've seen it happen. Just the guy that beat him just doesn't feel like cutting the weight anymore. But it happened. And now Volk's champion again, but it's kind of like, so what, He needs to beat a couple more guys for it to be, I think, exciting. The Murphy or Movsar fight will be real interesting because that, I think, will be the real test. This fight was not exciting. Didn't feel like a real test. Felt like a test that he already passed. What was the point? But the next one will be better. The next one will be better. So,
yeah, I mean,
he's got that equity. People love Volkanovski. I love Volkanovski. Who doesn't? He's great. He's a legend. He's a future Hall of Famer. He's one of the greatest, if not the greatest featherweight of all time. Like, at this point, he may have surpassed José Aldo. I think he probably is the
Yeah, I
greatest
agree.
featherweight of all time. But I
Yeah.
just, it sucks that he lost to Topuria and now he's got this run because it's kind of like an asterisk run. It's like, yeah, well, he's a champion, but he happened to lose the belt and then the guy went away and now he's champion again. Doesn't feel the same. When you're the champion, you lose the belt. Then you win it again, but you don't win it from the guy that beat you. Takes a little bit of the edge off.
Yeah. Look,
Anyways.
Volk has a challenge ahead of him, but like win or lose, man, which, let's say he does lose in the next one, loses that belt. He might try to bounce around for one more fight, or he might just like decide to walk away because, he's a very intelligent guy. He's up there, and like I said, Father Time is not like, always in your favor. And generally it's not, but, it's going to be interesting. But you're right. We need some exciting fights for championship belts, and Lopes wasn't that guy. I agree with you.
We'll see. There's a lot of rumors about championship belts. Apparently, June 14th is going to be the White House show, and Dana White is saying,
oh, yeah.
Now 8 or 9 title fights on that show?
What? Man, we were talking about that. Remember we said that?
Well, Trump said it at first, and we went, that's just crazy Trump talk because it's so many title fights. How would they even do that? But,
like,
let's try and figure that out, okay?
Throw that in.
Let's see if we can do that because the UFC has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 divisions total. Okay? They have 12 divisions total, AJ. And Dana's saying 8 or 9 title fights. So, let's see what those fights could be. Let's start with heavyweight. Tom Aspinall's not fighting Cyril Gane, I don't think, anytime soon. Do we do an interim heavyweight title fight? Because Aspinall's out for a while? Like, what's the story with Aspinall? Maybe they do an interim title fight. I could see an interim heavyweight title fight between, say, Jon Jones and Alex Pereira.
Yeah, but did you hear the latest Jon Jones thing? As of I think it was since yesterday. No. Apparently he's, so that's another.
What did he do?
I was like, well, it's not what he did, but apparently it's what's going to happen. And he needs to have hip surgery. So he needs a new hip. What does that mean? That means
he's not
career
fighting.
Ender. And he's not, if that's the case, he's not fighting. And if that's the case, it's going to be hard for him to come back. That's what he was saying. He needs hip surgery. You could take a look into it, but that doesn't look good. And I was expecting him to be on the White House card fight, but
okay, well then how about this?
I see that all the time.
We scratch the heavyweight title fight. There's no heavyweight title fight. Let's say there's no heavyweight title fight, AJ.
Yeah.
Because if Jon Jones isn't involved and Tom Aspinall's not involved, how do you have a heavyweight title fight? Who's fighting in that? Make a heavyweight title fight without using the names Tom Aspinall or Jon Jones.
Cyril Gane?
Do you have an opponent?
That's the problem. Who do you get for Cyril Gane?
Waldo Cortez Acosta versus Cyril Gane in an interim title fight?
That could be good. That could be very interesting.
Bro,
but it's not like
fuck out of here, man.
I know, bro. But you don't have much, man. That's why I said bring in Brock Lesnar. Fuck, I don't know.
Yeah,
you got to bring in some heavyweights.
Brock Lesnar versus
Cyril Gane.
Why are you trying to kill Brock? That's so mean.
Hey, you never know. It could be the other way around, Dave.
Do you know how old Brock is?
Yeah, but Brock is Brock.
He's.
I mean, if he could get the wrestling game on him.
What's he? Yeah, okay. Get the fuck out of here. Cyril Gane would beat the shit out of Brock. You remember what Overeem did to Brock?
Yeah, I remember.
Jeez. Remember what Cain
But that was
Velasquez
Overeem
did to
at
Brock?
his prime, yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
And that was good Brock, you know? Ciryl Gane would
You just
crush
bring him in. He would be the
Okay.
perfect White House like fighter, right? Let's be
Yeah,
honest.
but it's not gonna happen,
You know?
man. Let's
not gonna happen.
let's make some
But I
real
don't think it's
fights.
gonna happen with Jon Jones, unless Jon Jones is pulling a fast one.
Okay.
But yeah.
So then how about we go to the light heavyweight division for men? Alex Pereira fighting somebody? Carlos Ulberg? I could see that. Khamzat fighting maybe middleweight champion against someone? Do we have an opponent for Khamzat?
Well, actually,
Imavov,
I mean,
Nasruddin Imavov versus Khamzat in the White House?
Listen, man, there's somebody who stepped in just yesterday to say, listen, I'm ready to come to the White House. And I think it would be completely insane, but wild. You want to make things wild going to the White House. You want him to be like, you'll remember this forever, where people will be like, we got to see this. And that's why I threw in the Brock Lesnar. And the other name that's popped up and says, I want to fight Islam or Khamzat. I don't know if you know this, but Nick Diaz said, I'm there. I want to fight these guys at the White House. Think about it. Remember I was saying, yeah, Khamzat or Islam. He goes, he could beat them. He says that he can beat them. Listen, remember what I said last week? You need to have a good guy and a heel.
That'd be
awful.
A good guy and a heel. Can't beat them. He would get destroyed. That's nuts.
Could.
I'd like to see him fight Conor McGregor. Give me Nick Diaz versus Conor McGregor.
He wants Islam or Khamzat. That's what he wants. And I said that to you. I mean, Diaz against Conor they're too.
The UFC's not going to do that. They're not going to do Khamzat versus Nick Diaz in 2026. That's just nuts. It's not happening.
Look, he's planning his return. And he wants to do it at the White House against these guys. Look, it's a crazy talk, but man, who wouldn't want to see that? Dave, tell me you wouldn't just want to see that.
No.
Of course. Everybody would want to see that.
No.
Nick Diaz coming in to fight for America
fight somebody real, that'd be crazy.
Islam?
He'd get killed. He would get destroyed.
Get killed. But I know, dude, but wouldn't it be funny leading up to the fight?
No.
Like, it would be insane.
It'd be sad. Do you remember the last time Nick Diaz fought? It was sad.
Yeah.
I don't want to see it again. Well, I'm good.
But apparently he's training, man. So, look, anything's possible.
Okay.
You got to throw in some circus fights in there, Dave. This is a circus. This is like Rome, man, with Nero.
So you're not going to give me any real fights? You're just going to bullshit me the whole time? I'm trying to actually go through the divisions and see who's going to fight, but you're just bullshitting, so I forget.
I'm not bullshitting you. This is what's coming up, man. This is what the talk is. That's like the real talk out there.
Yeah, but you're giving me Brock Lesnar and Nick Diaz. I'm saying Khamzat, Nasruddin Imavov, and you're like, no, Nick Diaz. I'm trying to go like maybe interim heavyweight title fight. I'm saying Alex Pereira, Carlos Ulberg, and you're saying Ciryl Gane, Brock Lesnar. You're giving me bullshit, AJ.
Bro,
bullshit fights that will never happen.
Listen,
I'm trying to figure out when Dana says 8 title fights, who is he talking about? I could see him being Pereira. Pereira's up for a fight soon. Khamzat's been due for a fight soon. I could see Islam fighting Kamaru Usman at the White House. I could see Topuria fighting Gaethje at the White House for the featherweight title. So that's 4 champions right there. Pereira, Khamzat, Islam, Topuria. Imagine a card with those 4 guys alone. Then you throw in Joshua Van fighting somebody, Tatsuro Taira or something, for the flyweight title. Piotr Yan versus Merab maybe, or Sean O'Malley for the bantamweight title. I don't think you do a Volkanovski fight because that just happened. And you got to, well, maybe you turn around and do Lerone or Movsar versus Volk at the White House. Mackenzie Dern could have a fight defending her title at the White House. Valentina Shevchenko. Maybe you get Kayla Harrison and Amanda Nunes at the White House. Like, the fights are there because a lot of these champions don't have anything scheduled yet for 2026. Like, all these people I named have no fights, which is weird, right? Usually at this point, more of these champions would be booked for some fights. But Piotr Yan, okay, I'm going up. Josh Van, flyweight champion, no opponent. Piotr Yan, bantamweight champion, just won it, but still no opponent. Volkanovski doesn't know who he's fighting next. Topuria probably fighting Gaethje, but no date for that. Islam Makhachev, Nobody knows who he's fighting next. Maybe Usman, but nothing is official. Khamzat, nobody knows who he's fighting next. Pereira, same deal. Nobody knows. Aspinall, nobody knows if he's going to fight again. Valentina, I don't think has an opponent at 125. Mackenzie Dern, I don't think has an announced opponent at 115. Although I heard a name for her. Maybe, I forget.
Suarez.
Yeah, maybe. And Kayla Harrison, she's the 135 champion. She should fight Amanda Nunes, but Kayla Harrison just had some sort of neck surgery, so
yeah,
don't
she
know
had
about
neck
her.
surgery. So
but
like
every champion in the UFC right now
June.
is on the table because we're talking about June, and we have fights booked until the end of March. So April, May, June is completely wide open, and they have all their champions available because nobody has a fight scheduled. So when Dana's talking about 8 or 9 title fights for the White House, I'm actually starting to believe him because you got to have some title fights at some point in 2026. What do we have? We had an interim title fight. Like, so far this year, they're kind of saving their real champions because we had an interim title fight in January. The February show was a featherweight title fight, which was real. But then the next show, UFC 326, that's a BMF title. Holloway versus Oliveira. So they're not doing any real championship fights. They're saving them for the White House.
I think that's what's happening.
Like, they're trying to keep as many of their top people available to do a super card for the White House where it's like almost all champions. It's kind of crazy. I think this is unprecedented. At no point in the history of the UFC have we sat here in like a February and looked at the list of champions and have nobody with a scheduled fight. Not a single champ.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. Maybe, it really is all for the White House, I mean, it's a different time. There's no more pay-per-views. It's it's about entertainment now. It's, there's not a lot of weight on the numbers.
It's like I said,
the 325, 326. It's going to be like
those numbered events don't mean anything anymore. They mean as much as a fight night because the numbers for one single event don't matter to Paramount because they're getting a flat rate on a monthly deal, $9-10 or whatever it is. So they want subscribers. How do you get a subscriber? Well, you get them to sign up, and hopefully they just stay with you. And you get more people to sign up off a big event. Like the reason why Netflix pays Jake Paul so much money for his boxing fights is because people will get a Netflix subscription just to see that one event. Netflix tries to get these big events, and all the streaming services, Paramount now with the UFC, they're trying to get the one big event to get you to sign up for the streaming service, so that's how they get their return on their investment. So for the UFC to do one super show, one Super Bowl type event would make sense. And we have talked about this concept before. And I think that's where we're headed as far as what the UFC product is. I just wonder how that works for the rest of the year. Like, how do you keep the interest level high for your promotion if you do one crazy event a year and then a bunch of events the rest of the year that are very mediocre? Because if you are putting on 8 champions on one show, that means that July, August, September, October, November, December, probably you got no champions on those shows. Or very few. So you're going to have one big event, but you're going to sacrifice 6 months of the sport for that one big event, which...
But Dave, it's like the Royal Rumble, man. It's like the Royal Rumble.
Well, it's like
WrestleMania.
It's like, that type of thing where you have everybody on, but it's different for wrestling because you can have these people go all year round. They just all have one big show, once a year. But for the UFC, it's like, well, if they fight that one time, that's probably the last time you see them all year.
Maybe,
like if
maybe
you're
not.
fighting
Like,
in June, you probably don't fight again. Maybe you fight again at the end of the year, but maybe
that's what
not.
I'm thinking. You could be fighting again in October, November, December to close out the year. And
Yeah,
I think
but then
that's what
you also put like all your top stars on the same schedule, which is difficult because then they're all, not ready during a time and then they are ready again later. Like that means like if you put 8 champions up in June, in July and August, you're thin.
It depends, man. It depends on what type of model you want to put out. But when you look at it, if you have that stamped Super Bowl, WrestleMania, UFC Mania, that's always going to be on July 4th or whatever day you want to put it on. Every year on that time, you know already that it's going to be a UFC mega event. And everything else could be title fights throughout the year spread, or, another fight of a champion fighting in July back in September, October, or November. But you know what? It's a different thing. Like you said, the numbers don't count. The pay-per-views are gone. The 324, 326 has to be followed by a name now. It has to be a title. The Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, whatever it takes. That's you need to stamp a name now. And you got to have one major name, WrestleMania, and everything, that's followed by a pretty Royal Rumble style kind of name spread out in like every quarter. Every quarter, you got to have some kind of big show. And I think that's where the UFC is going towards. And I really think the entertainment package is what will really stand out for all the fans around the world and gaining new fans. Like I said, like Diaz, like I'm not joking. I could see Diaz coming out and, coming in and wanting to fight Islam. And, why not? Throw him in there. He's got the name, you turn it into an
That's making a mockery of the division if you do that, man.
It is, but what I'm saying is that one time of the year you can make that mock. You know what I'm saying? The shit that happens at WrestleMania that one time in the year, you know what I'm saying? You don't forget. You still talk about the Montreal screw job. Like how many years ago was that? What I'm trying to say is that there's something that stands out that you never forget. So the White House event has to be something spectacular that in 20 years from now, me, you, Johnny, and Fred will be like, you remember what happened in 2026 with the first White House? Wasn't that insane? And that's what you need. And this is what it's become. Everything's about entertainment. Being at football, we got the Super Bowl coming in on Sunday. It's got to be a great game, but it's all backed by entertainment. Halftime show is promoted more than anything in the world. Like, who gives a shit to football fans who really love the game of football? But the majority of people that are watching it are all those one-timers that come every Super Bowl weekend or Super Bowl Sunday and stay there that have never watched a football game throughout the year and are going to make like record crowds. That's what the UFC is going towards that. You can see it and it makes sense. And that's where the big bucks are going to come for the fighters to come in and be part of the entertainment fights.
Yeah.
A Conor McGregor will come out. A Brock Lesnar might come out. A Ronda Rousey might come out. Something crazy might come out. And you know what? I'll watch it, and everybody else would want to watch it. And then the rest of the year is for the fight fans, the real fight fans.
We got some fights this weekend, AJ. UFC back at the Apex. It is Mario Bautista versus Vinicius Oliveira. 2 bantamweights on some win streaks here. It's the main event. Sorry. One is on a win streak. Batista coming off a loss. He was on a win streak before that, coming off a loss to Umar Nurmagomedov. These things happen. It's the main event of the Apex card this weekend. Not the most star-studded event. Batista minus 160 the favorite. Vinicius de Oliveira plus 125 the underdog. You've also got a good flyweight fight. Kyoji Horiguchi taking on Amir Albazi.
He's good.
Heavyweights Jailton Almeida and Rizvan Kuniev. Quebec fighter Marc-Andre Barriot, the power bar, taking on Michael Oleksiejczuk. Farid Basharat,
power bar still there.
Undefeated Basharat. Very impressive prospect so far. I've liked what I've seen from Farid Basharat. 28 years old, 14-0. coming in here at 135 pounds, taking on Gene Matsumoto, who I know very little about. So,
and he's 17-1, and he's another prospect that's coming up. So
yeah,
that's an interesting fight to see. You know,
some decent fights here, especially at the lighter weight classes. Some good flyweight and bantamweight action on this card. It's coming up this weekend.
Yeah, it's a decent card, and I'm happy to see the power bar still fighting. You know, that's another trooper right there. He's like the Cowboy Cerrone, keeps on fighting, and when you think about it, you know he's a veteran, 27 fights, and you know I'm happy for the guy.
Do you have a parlay for this thing?
It'll be hard, dude. You know.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's not the best.
This is a hard.
Let's stay away.
It's a hard parlay.
Let's stay away.
You want to?
No,
you don't want to.
I don't want to. I don't want to. Do you have a pick or two? I mean, we don't have to. I don't have a parlay for this. I don't know. I like Basharat and
okay, I'll give you a quick
big favorite.
What I think is the best bet. Hey, listen, let's talk about one thing quickly. Who won last week's 6-fight parlay, Dave? Let's not forget that because Johnny reminded. That's right, man. I hit that 6-fight parlay last week. Nice. You know, AJ's on a roll. $20 got you, what was it, 106, I believe, was the payout?
I don't know.
So let me give my bets for. I'm just going to keep it simple this time.
I'm giving you. Let me just say. Hold on, I don't have it set up, AJ. I'm going to give a very easy one with Basharat and Horiguchi. They're both pretty heavy favorites, and the payout sucks. Okay, so it's a bad parlay, and I'm giving it to you. This is what you get for this week Apex card. 20 gets you 34-38. How about that?
That's not bad. That's not bad, actually.
I mean, I'm pretty sure those guys are going to win, so could be worth it. But one of them might lose, and then you're screwed either way. So that's gambling, folks. It's
gambling,
not a sure thing.
Except
what do you
last
got?
Week with AJ was a sure thing, man.
Wow.
So listen, I'm going to keep it simple because it wasn't luck, dude. It was a 6-fight parlay. That's a hell of a lot.
But I mean, okay.
Listen, man. AJ won. Don't listen. Okay. I know there's always luck, but you know, I beat the Vegas guys. Listen. So I'm going to go with this. I agree with you. I'm going to go with Vinicius over Bautista.
There you go.
I'm going to go with
Vinicius over Bautista. Why are you agreeing with me? I never said that. I think I'm. I thought you said Vinicius. Nah, I didn't even pick the main event. I didn't put them on my parlay at all. Okay. Vinicius is the underdog, plus 125.
Yep. He's appealing to me, man. I think he could pull it. Then I'm going to go with Horiguchi over Albazi.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to go with Jilton Almeida over that Rizvan.
You're going to Jilton.
I'm going with the jail over the wristband.
All right. That's it.
That's it, man. I'm keeping it 3. Oh. I'm going two weekends in a row, man. Victory here.
Victory.
With a little bit of juice. With the
there he goes. Big AJ, Horiguchi, Almeida, Oliveira. AJ's killing it on the parlays, killing it on all the predictions. Johnny North says 2026 year of AJ. So maybe you want to go with AJ. It's a plus 353 parlay. 20 gets you 90.53. It's pretty good. It's good money. Good money for AJ. AJ doing it big once again. Wow. All right. Well, Fred wasn't here tonight because he was teaching a jiu-jitsu class. People are like, where's Fred? He's teaching jiu-jitsu somewhere, like not even at 10th Planet, somewhere else. He's a real trader.
He's a star. He's a star, man. He's a jiu-jitsu
superstar.
So you know what? We got to give him some slack. You know, he's
allowed.
He's allowed. Listen, I just want to cover something. Johnny asked, about the White House and what kind of seating are they going to build? So apparently, from what I got, was that on the south side of the lawn, they're going to build a 5,000 stadium, on the grass, and the UFC is covering everything. It's not the taxpayers. It's not Trump. Dana White's coming in, and he's going to redo the south lawn. It's going to cost about $700,000. But then what they're going to do is that they're going to have this area. What's it called? It's another
mall?
area. Not the mall. It's like a park, just off on the side where they
Okay.
fit about 80,000 fans. So they're really looking at
a bunch of
about
people outside watching on screens too.
yeah. There's around 80,000 fans in that side that they wanted the Ellipse at the nearby park. That's it.
Sure.
So it could be interesting, Dave. Like 5,000 on the lawn, 80,000 out on the Ellipse.
Yeah.
And Dana White's footing the bill for everything's.
Well, when you first heard about it, you thought, "Oof, is this real? Is this really going to happen?" And it seems real. So it's definitely going to happen, and the card might be crazy. It'll be a must-watch event in 2026. Feels unreal. It's a year that feels like we're not even in reality anymore. So many things that happen make me go,
Ooh.
is
Makes
this
you go,
real? Is this real?
Things that make you go,
Are people really allowed to do this?
Maybe it's all AI, Dave. Think about it.
Yeah, you
Maybe
don't
it's
know
not
the
real.
difference between AI and what's not AI, which is kind of a problem.
I don't, man. Not any. Do you? There's sometimes there's some crazy shit where I'm like, no, that's not AI, and it is.
There's always a way to tell. You can always figure it out.
How? No, we should put you to the test. I doubt it. There's some of them that are
Let's
too
do
good,
it.
Dave.
Okay. Put me to the
We'll get
test.
Johnny. Johnny will be like the Bob Barker, just like they get me and you as contestants, and we'll see who wins or not.
I'll be back
Johnny, that's right, the Matrix.
tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow with Johnny, and we'll talk about wrestling. We're going to talk about WrestleMania because we know what's the main event of WrestleMania. It's going to be Roman Reigns versus CM Punk for the world title in the main event of night 2 of WrestleMania. So that is official. It's happening.
Wow.
Huge news for WWE. I saw MJF and Seth Rollins together today. Pairing I never thought would happen. So a lot of fun things going on in the world of wrestling that we'll talk about tomorrow night at 10 p.m. Eastern Time during SmackDown. And that'll be it. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Johnny says, don't forget ice. Yeah, I mean, obviously, they're the worst. I don't like ice.
What are you talking about?
All right, AJ, you fucking
Nothing
guy.
like ice
Right.
in your Baileys, man.
Okay.
What are you guys talking about?
It's really
A hockey
crazy.
game.
A lot of things, I just don't understand how you could defend the indefensible, but,
What you talking
when
about?
you
Willis?
can't tell what's real and what's AI, maybe that's part of the issue.
It's hard
Thank
to
you.
tell, Dave. You can't tell. I'm sure you're going to lose on that one. There's too good, man. It's getting better every day. I'm telling you. I saw some videos, man. They were
Yeah.
real people.
All right.
not.
Thanks, everybody. We're almost in baseball season. We're like a month and a half away from baseball season. World Baseball Classic at the end of the month. Let's go.
The
We're
Expos
getting ready.
are coming back, right,
We'll
Dave?
talk to you
know
soon.
that,
Go
eh?
Yankees.
Thanks for sticking with us to the end. We would really appreciate it if you could help us spread the word. Please share this episode on whichever social media platform you use. Add a comment below and consider reviewing us on Apple Podcasts. We are an audience-supported network, so consider becoming a recurring supporter at membership.ringsidereport.net. Check out our website at ringsidereport.net. Hope to see you again next time and have a good night.